left off.
Our scientific staff
So
labored
kill
day
this
and
guy
night
right
to
here.
improve and build upon the
And
foundation.
healing slowly.
Jonah
His
Gutenberg's
armor.
original.
Gotta go forward. Oh, I leveled up a bunch too. I have like 85 power now. 88. No, I didn't mean to heal. That's upsetting. Well, I don't need to heal anymore. This armor makes you heal automatically, and when you do heal, it heals you more. This one that I have is 180. Gives me 220 with this armor on. Okay, only this way. Why is I struggling so much with you?
Log 1. Date unknown. Dr. Lawrence Murphy, beginning observation. They're inside me. I can feel them. I've already begun to notice the first changes. The skin on my right leg is burning and itching. The texture appears to be changing. Some small black dots underneath. Swollen and hard. I could try to stop the process. Remove the corrupted areas. But I believe it's already too late. And they're within my mutating me so.
Check everything there. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Only one hallway, so shouldn't miss anything. Yeah, it is. Nice. Where's your shortcut go to? You know, we'll find out later. No. We'll go now. No looping.
No
Not
one
much of
has
a
ever
shortcut.
attempted what we're trying to do.
Okay. Count as a shortcut. It's awful. Open this door. Okay, and then okay. Explosion. When they aim down, it takes to kill me a couple times. Gotta go for that. I don't want to fence.
New discoveries, tremendous.
I also upgraded like every single weapon I have. Everything I have is blue. Same thing with armors, every single thing. So ever change my mind, I want to have something else. It's all good to go. I spent a long time leveling all this stuff up.
whatever it takes.
Over there.
We will build a new Eden.
God, I'm glad I opened that door.
Now I see the real reason you're here. A purge. Is that their game? Dispose of me like Chavez? But I assure you, it's just growing pains. A little more time. Everything has to happen now. Or at least pretend to be. I won't let you destroy our only hope, just because it offends their delicate constitution.
All do different stuff. Before I mess with anything,
I've just received a communication from Mary Shaw. Name doesn't ring a bell? You should. It's Michael Shaw's sister. It's for the program we're meant to have no family or friends. This is on your head. I expect this situation dealt with quickly and quickly.
I won't take that, you know. Years of toiling for the good of mankind. All that. Somebody got to do their work. They were too afraid to get their manicured hands dirty.
Get up. Yeah. Most enemies are thinking at the same time. Okay, so that was maybe special. Double check. Not miss any items.
A little too old for hide and seek, aren't we? Come out, wherever you are.
Yeah, I knew you
You've trusted me this far. We all want the same thing. We've looked at other ways, and there's always going to be risks. Utopia works, guaranteed. I know the board is balking at the figures, but think of it as cleaning house. Problem solved within 1 generation. It'll just be a much smaller one than previously estimated, but that's a good thing. We've been worrying about what to do with overpopulation for almost 100 years.
Lab 01 unlocked and open.
Having a good snoop around, are we? I'm afraid I can't allow that.
welcome back.
It's easy to point your fingers at others, isn't it? So tell me, The wolf devouring the sheep, or the hunter murdering its cubs in their lair.
Lift over here. Yeah, there was. Oh, not being there now.
Attention, please. Contingency protocol for asset preservation has been activated. Opening containment cells.
You didn't really think I'd let you sacrifice the future of mankind because management suddenly grew a conscience. So what now? Going to be a good boy and finish me off? Murder me in cold blood? You know that won't change a thing. It's too late, you see. An inquisitive mind. That's the spirit. And besides, things without all remedy should be without regard, right? What's done is done.
What the hell is this freak show?
This freak show, as you call it, is my legacy and the future of human life on Earth. You failed to see, or maybe you chose not to. But I'm trying to save mankind here, not just the species. No, I'm trying to save all of us. We're flawed, incomplete. We're not yet prepared to re-enter paradise, you see. We wouldn't survive. My Homo Machinalis could change that. They are the living proof that we could be more than human. We, all of us, could fill the world of tomorrow. Ascended beings in a new utopia.
So, these tin men are supposed to be our future?
Not pretty, is it? But the truth rarely is. Just think of it as an upgrade to survive the world of utopia. Our meat machines are inadequate. We won't make it unless you hightail it back to your master's tower. We have the will to survive as individuals, but as a species, we need a push. There's no winning without sacrifice. I just wanted a level playing field to create a utopia for all.
So what about utopia?
Let me put the record straight. Unlike Resolve, which will exterminate us slowly and painfully over generations, my nanites do a quick and clean job. I've minimized the suffering, a fresh start, a clean slate for those that remain. If that concerns you now, then you shouldn't have tried and stopped my little pet project. Anyway, I'm sure you'll be safe. Go on. Go smoke a nice fat stogie and watch the apocalypse from your glass tower with the rest of them.
I think you've got me confused with somebody else. I'm not working for the board.
Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. What difference does it make now? This place is going straight to hell, and we're going with it. Or we're already there and didn't even notice.
So you know what's going on here?
I'm honored by your assumption, but even I have my limits. I do know a mob stormed my labs and my colleagues are either dead, dumb, or simply gone. So much for security. And what's the board doing, Still twiddling their thumbs over the launch of Utopia? I submitted my final analysis weeks ago and I'm still waiting. We need people who can make decisions around here.
You're sick.
Oh, you moral crusaders. Always the first to swing the sword from the little corner of self-righteousness. Chavez was exactly the same. Always beyond reproach. Even when the first reports on Resolve came in. I don't claim to know the one truth, because there isn't one. Everybody takes sides, and always their own. Good, evil, all nonsense and totally subjective. Just children's stories. As we grow older, mortality beckons, and so we reach for the divine. Same fairy stories, different binding. The individual must be prepared to sacrifice himself for the many. The species is what's important.
What about Chavez?
Yes, what about her? Not seen since she threw a tantrum and got kicked out of my labs. But still, wonderful woman. And an extraordinary scientist. An incredible intellect. Kind-hearted and so ambitious, you have to admire a fighter. But resolve didn't work. We needed to act and act fast. And I had the solution. It's just a shame her ego got in the way of her career.
I think we're done here.
In that case, if you don't mind, Inspector, I need to get back to work. Terribly important things to do. Terribly important. This is unfair! Ah!
I didn't like him.
Mark Dean, perfect candidate for the program. We pulled him off the streets and put him to work in recycling a couple of weeks back. He's a complete zero. We even DNA typed him to outside databases. No living relatives. He's so happy to have a place to sleep and 3 square meals a day, he'll happily sign the consent forms.
I usually love that guy.
Warning. Security breach detected. Unauthorized implementation of